Well, here I am. It's a Friday night and I'm live with you. Mainly, my wife has company over. You're going to hear some laughter and stuff in the background occasionally. They're upstairs, I'm downstairs. And kind of got bored, so I thought I would get down. Yeah, am I still here? I don't know. I'm getting a bad signal for some reason. I don't know what's going on tonight. So I may be dropping in and out. Any case, here's the stuff I have. Hi, PCV Piper. That's my chair moving a little bit. Um, as you see, I in the video I said I was going to be talking about things I picked up recently, and you got a bunch of stuff here. One of them is an old timer camp knife or scout knife, whatever way you want to call it. This is one of the latest one. If I can get the box open, I have already pulled it out before, and it's the one with the saw cut bone. It's Schrade old timer, and it's a 4 blade knife. It's kind of like a satiny finish on the blades. Um, Blades are okay, I guess. 3CR13 steel, which is not nearly as good as 440A. So this is like a 420 steel, but the build is all right. You got the big uh, can opener, and you got the little cap lifter screwdriver. This is not nearly as good as the Camp King that Rough Rider makes, as far as I'm concerned, especially considering the steel quality that you have in this knife. Plus, I don't know, maybe some people like these handles, but these handles, they just don't look nice to me at all. And the bad thing about this knife is it costs like $4 or $5 more than the Rough Rider Camp King, which comes with a uh, black bone handle as opposed to a Delrin handle. Um, this is the straight old timer. It's been around for a while, so I guess it sells okay. I don't know. I'm not too crazy about it. I will probably end up keeping it simply because I collect camp knives, but I doubt I will be doing much with it. In any case, that's one knife I picked up, and I picked it up because the Rough Rider Camp King came out, and I got on a scout knife kick again. So I went ahead and finally picked this one up. I think I will also pick up the Uncle Henry, which looks nicer than this, slightly nicer than this one does. Got a Kissing Crane here, and I picked this one up recently too. And let's get it out of the box. Come on. And I picked it up simply because of the handle right there. Granddad. I'm a granddad, so I figured, what the heck? I need to get a sod buster granddad knife, and it's a little more than a typical one. It's a brown mule. It's your basic brown mule. I've got another brown mule. I will probably end up giving away the other brown mule because now I've got one that says granddad on it, and it looks pretty cool, and I like it. And you know, build wise, it's your typical Kissing Crane sod buster with the wood handles. It's made pretty nice. It's a $10 knife. What do you expect? 440 steel in it, as far as I know. It's the Kissing Crane Granddad. And here is a Rough Rider I picked up. You see also a bunch of Rough Riders in the background. We'll get to that in a minute. Uh, I had to pick up another one of these. Um, I know it looks goofy. I've got this in the coal miner series. I think they called it an electrician knife or a utility knife, something like that. In any case, what it is your basic electrician knife with a crescent wrench at the end here. And I had to pick up another one simply because I've been using the one in the coal miner series, which I actually wanted to try and keep nice and neat. So I had to get one that I'm going to actually use because I use this thing all the time. It's just a really handy small little crescent wrench to have around with you. And if you need a crescent wrench, um, and not one that's really big or anything, this is not a bad one to have. It opens up to about a half an inch. Realistically, it's good to in that 3/8 of an inch or so range to actually open up little bolts and stuff. But I've used it quite often around the house and also on my bicycle and everything. So that's why I got it. It's just really nice. And you have the other blades on there that are very handy for the electrician knife. So you have the long screwdriver. This blade is sharp here, and you got the little wire stripper. All of that comes in handy. That actually has the brass lock, which holds it in place. And then you've got the spear blade. Hi, Big Red EDC. Hi, everybody else who's out there too. If I missed seeing you pop up, and if you notice, all of this has the half stops on it, the yellow Delrin handles and the Be Prepared shield, which is pretty cool. Um, Goes for like 16 bucks if you can find them. I think they're out of stock now. Excuse me if I'm going to be coughing and stuff. This is completely live and unscripted, so that's the way it's going. But I had to get one of these because I use it all the time. So I went ahead and picked up another one, and I might even pick up another one in the future too. The yellow Delrin, what's the number on that? The RR1136. Really nice little thing. Now you see back here, 3 of each of something. Uh, you could probably guess what they are right away. This one is in Ramhorn. It's by Marbles, genuine Ramhorn, and I got 3 of them. And it's a large toothpick and genuine Ramhorn, and it does look pretty cool. I actually have 4 of them. One of them is in my collection. I've already given one away. Also, my son was looking for a large toothpick, and so I gave him one of them also. So I'm down a little bit on my Ramhorns. I've got 3 left. But I have the 5-inch large toothpicks by Marble. And you can probably guess what this is over here too, if you've been watching my channel. Got 3 more Camp Kings. Now, obviously, I've only got 2 hands, so I don't need that many Camp Kings, and I don't need that many large toothpicks. So the reason I picked them up is because I'm going to be giving these away this year. These knives here, I'm going to be giving away Camp Kings, and I'm going to be giving away the Ramhorn marble toothpicks. As part of my giveaways this year. So I don't know when the next giveaway is. It's going to be probably in the next month or so. And I don't know if I'm going to give one of each away or if I'm just going to give one away as along with the Camp King, the Scout knife, and the large toothpick. Though the next giveaway is also going to get another one of the Knife Chat bartender tools. So matter of fact, I'm ordering even more of these. Every giveaway that I do is going to include a Knife Chat bartender tool until I run out of them. So that's going to be happening. Like I said, hopefully within the next month or so, I'll be doing a giveaway. It'll include the bartender tool and one of these knives, or maybe both of these knives. I just haven't decided yet how I'm going to do it. One thing you got to understand is these are not knives that are being provided to me. These are knives that I'm purchasing and giving away. So if people were actually just giving things to me, then I would be able to do more giveaways. But this is money out of my own pocket, and I'm doing it as gratitude to my viewers, because if I could give everyone a knife, I would, but I'm not rich, so I'm giving away what I can give away, and so I just recently placed a big order with Smoky Mountain Knife Works. We've got the toothpicks and the camp knives and this old timer, which might also be going out the door too. So it might also be another giveaway I'm going to be doing. So all of that stuff is stuff that I recently purchased for the whole purpose of giving them away. I've already got a Camp King. I've already got a Ramhorn large toothpick. I'll probably buy another Camp King for myself too because I really like that. And I've got I already got that. Got plenty of large toothpicks. Speaking of other knives, though, if you notice, I also mentioned something in the description about cracked ice, and that's because I recently picked up an older Camp King that I am not going to be giving away, but I recently picked up an older Camp King that was in cracked ice, and I picked it up because it looked so cool, and I thought, oh, how much other knives do I have in cracked ice? And I started pulling out all the knives I have in cracked ice, and I thought I'd show them off tonight. So that's what I'm doing. And we're going to start off with that Camp King that I picked up, though, because this thing is like near mint. Now this is a shell handle also. This is like that plastic coating that they did on there. But look at that. Does that not look amazing? And there's the backside. Look at that. That just looks fantastic. That is some of the best imitation pearl or cracked knife that I have seen on an older knife. This is probably from like the 60s or 70s, and the knife itself is just in near mint condition. And you see the patent number on there and everything. This is just and this is not a new knife. This is not a new knife. This knife has got to be at least 40 years old. I'm and it's just your basic inexpensive Camp King. This thing probably cost $3 or $4 when it came out. This was a deluxe Camp King, but no one bothered to use it. It did not come in the plastic bubble wrap or anything like that, the plastic packaging. It was out of the packaging when I got it, but this has definitely just been stored in a drawer all those years. So this is like, you would almost say it's like museum quality for, yeah, for an economy budget knife. But look, no rust, no nothing. And after seeing that, it's like, man, what other cracked ice do I have that I can display this with? Because this one looks really good. Hi, Rusty Knife Lover. This one is not at all rusty. This one is like pristine. And then I started looking and decided I would show off some of the other cracked ice I have. And this one here is out of Italy, and it's a lobster knife. Got a little file here, and then the pin blade. Where is that at? No, this is the Bristol, yeah, Bristol line, Italy. And on the other side over here, you got a pair of scissors. And so it's basically the same tools that you find on a classic SD, but with plastic cracked ice handles. And you got your little bail there. And then another one I had, this is, I believe, by Camillus, just a little pen knife, and people call them the small bolster ones, and the whole reason the bolster is there is just so the cracked ice won't break on the end. And again, it's just a little pen knife by Camillus, again in cracked ice. So everything you're going to see is cracked ice, but this is usually what happens to the cracked ice over the time. Notice how clear and clean this one is. Over time it usually turns yellow, but this one obviously was still in a box or in a drawer or something, because it has not been exposed to a lot of light, so it has not turned yellow, because that's usually what causes the cracked ice on these older knives to turn yellow, is they've just been in a lot of sunlight and everything, and over time it just turns yellow. The older it is, the more yellow it tends to get. Um, One of my fish knives, this is by Imperial. I'm looking for one of these that's going to be uh, in better shape than what this is. But again, cracked ice, and a typical fish knife by Imperial. So you've got that blade, and then the uh, the scaler. Definitely got to get a better one than what I've got here. And I do have one that's a little bit different. This one also by Imperial. This one has the old church key on the backside there, so that you can actually pop open the old style beer cans that do not have the pull tab. Um, and it is a two blade fish knife otherwise. So you've got the scaler and uh, the other blade here, the clip blade. But you notice there's a gap in the middle there, and that is because of that church key on the backside. I almost got I've got one more of these, but I almost ended up grabbing another kind of a camp knife with one of these, but I lost out on the bidding. Um, just did not expect it to go as high as it did. Now, I've also got some modern cracked ice. These are all celluloid. They have since gone to acrylic, and this is my Krieger stiletto out of it's made in China, but it's Krieger is a company I think in Germany, and notice how white that is and how much more of a pearl it looks like than the older cracked ice. And that's mainly because now we're dealing with acrylic, and it definitely holds the color better. But compared to that, not much of a difference. But this is your basic 5-inch stiletto or 9-inch stiletto, whatever way you want to work at it, with the Weehawk blade. So it really looks nice. I mean, that is your classic Italian stiletto. I mean, that's the one that General Patton would have been complaining about the French pimp in a New Orleans whorehouse. This is the kind of knife he would be carrying, because it's got those imitation pearl handles. But I like it. It's pretty cool. And then this one here, this one I ended up getting simply because it was like $5 with that knife stand that I got here somewhere. Where's my night stand? It's upstairs, so I won't be able to get it. But again, it's just a pearl-handled Congress. Sometimes they're called a highboy Congress because of how high the blades sit up. This is by Pride Cutlery. This is like $6, $7. But my other one, this is the first cracked ice that I picked up in modern times, at least. And this is my Guardian Angel cracked ice. By Raging Bull. Got the Latin cross there, brass pins, brass liners, nickel silver bolsters. Looks very much like your 5-inch toothpicks by Rough Rider and also by Marbles. It's also same design as you find on the Camillus 5-inch toothpicks, but this is, like I said, Raging Bull, made in China. But again, really nice acrylic cracked ice handles. And have one other cracked ice knife, but it's upstairs, so I can't show it. It's a little bartender knife. You'll be seeing that in an upcoming video, though. But that's what I have in cracked ice. And that's the other things I have that I was mentioned in the thing that I would be talking about. Um, I did talk earlier about this Coke bottle knife in a video. This is a with the end of well, it's a green and black scale with a nice fish scaler up here and a nice big old clip blade on a Coke bottle frame. It's called a Coke bottle frame because it's shaped like a Coke bottle. And when I was showing this, I said it was the only Coke bottle knife I had. Little did I know, you know, I should have thought twice because I actually do have another Coke bottle, but you notice it's a little bit different. And this is the Rough Rider one in tortoiseshell, and it has it's almost like a cross between a Coke bottle and a copperhead, because the bolster pops up a little bit here, so that the blade drops in there a little bit better, and it's doesn't get caught in your pocket if you're pulling it out. Like you're going to be able to pull this out of your pocket. It's almost 5 1/4 inches long, but you can actually choke all the way up on there because of the shape of that right there. But it's really designed for that. But that's my other Coke bottle. So I do have actually two Coke bottles. One of them's a little more traditional. This is the old Colonial, is the way they used to be made. The Rough Rider is closer to what you see in some of the more modern Coke bottles, but you can still see the shape there going on. Do I have anything else? Oh, yeah. As long as I was looking at knives that kind of all have the same handle material, I thought this is what I often, when I have collections and I put them all together in one place, I try to put them in a box or something. And so this is an old White Owl uh, cigar box I have, and figured I'd take a look at my Stag knives. As long as I'm looking at knives, all of these are made in China, so there's nothing expensive on here. This is my favorite, though, probably, and this is the little Rough Rider bird and trout knife. They call it their small game hunter. Can I see the number on there? Yeah, RR090. So it was a very early knife they had, and came with a leather sheath instead of the nylon sheaths that they have with every other bird and trout knife they have. Just like a 6 1/4 inch long blade, or a 6 1/4 inch overall length, about a 3 1/2 inch blade or so. But a really nice knife, and because it goes so far into the sheath and holds in there quite well, I pulled out the whatever the loop that would hold it in place. It's not necessary, but that's my only fixed blade in Stag for this group. I have a couple other Stag ones, but this one is the Rough Rider. And then here's my little 3 inch Rough Rider toothpick and Stag, and it looks really nice. This is the second generation that they had come out. The first generation has a wider Stag on it. Looks a little raw. This is like the burnt Stag, but it is genuine Stag. And nice little toothpick, you know. So 5 inches overall open, 3 inch handle, 2 inch blade. The peanut and genuine Stag again. So 2 7/8 inches with a nice little blade going on. These are very hard to get, very hard to find these days, and they made it very clear that they are never going to make the Stag knives by Rough Rider again. So they are actually going up in price, which is what happens with some of the Rough Riders. People say they're not collectible, but they are turning into collectible knives. And here's the medium Stockman I also have on it. And again, really not that bad. It's not the best match on the Stockman from side to side, but really not bad. This is the same as the size and everything is basically about the same as what you would see in a number 18 Stockman by Case, so about 3 1/2 inches long. That one, yeah. And then your thanks BDH, and sheepfoot blade, and finally the spade blade on the back here. It's interesting the way that spade blade comes off of the back there, but I bet you, it actually feels good in the hand, the way it drops down like that. Pretty cool. In case, the other one I have, this is by Tate's Creek, and this one I'm not too crazy about. Look at how thick that Stag is on there. I mean, I don't even know why they did that. It's very it's fits in there all right, I guess, but you know, your hand just drops right there too. Kind of feels decent enough, but yeah, I agree. The grinding on this one is absolutely horrendous, and the it's just flat as can be on the bottom. It's like they cut off the blade. So this one, but at the same time, we're talking about a knife. When I picked it up, I think I got it for like $6. So um, definitely something you can use. It's not going to hurt to use it because what else can you do with it? It's definitely not collectible as the way it is. And then the last of my little stag pocket knives, again made in China. And this is really interesting for me to even say this about this because this is from Whitetail Cutlery. Now, everyone knows Whitetail Cutlery is a Frost company, and so you expect junk when you hear Frost. Well, this is a knife that proves that rule wrong, basically. This is an excellent knife. Yes, it's 3 layers because there's 6 blades in this Congress knife, and it the fit and finish on this is just amazing. And there's the back side of the Stag. There's the front side. The matchup is not that bad at all. You've got a clip blade on this side. Let me open it all the way up. And then on this side, you have your your coping blade. So that's the very first layer. Uh, Clip blade, coping blade. You hear those? See that? Half stops all around. Great snap. A sheepfoot blade and the other sheepfoot blade. Again with half stops. And there's you got the whitetail cutlery mark on it. And then on the back side, you got a pin blade and the ever popular Warncliffe blade. So 6 blade Congress, with the exception of the 2 main blades being sheepfoot blades, 4 different blades going on this knife. And one of those blades being a Warncliffe blade. Now these, I've talked about this before, that when you run into a 6 blade Congress like this, they're often called a Lincoln Congress because it's the type of Congress knife that Abraham Lincoln had in his pocket on the night that he was assassinated. Now his blades were a little different. He had 2 pin blades, a nail file, and a coping blade for the small blades, and then he had a Spearmaster blade and a sheepfoot blade on his knife. But because it was 6 blades, it was called a well, because these are 6 bladed Congresses, they're typically called a Lincoln Congress. It's also got the starburst bolsters going on it. It's really just a really great knife, and you saw the action on it. I mean, those blades are tight. There's no wobble. There's nothing on this. This is this is one of the best um, knives. This is right off the. I'll tell you straight out. This is the best knife I have ever gotten from a Jim Frost line of knives. This is better than his. Um, what is it? The Hen and Rooster knives that he sells. This is better than their Hen and Rooster knives. So if you can ever run across one of these, I would say go ahead and pick it up. I don't know about any of the other whitetail knives, but this particular one, this 6 blade Congress was just really fantastic. I don't know what he was doing when he put this out. I don't understand why it did not come out in the Hen and Rooster line or anything like that because of just how good the quality is on that one. Uh, Better quality than any of the Rough Rider knives I have, and definitely 440A stainless steel. So, and that's why it's in with my other Stag knives. This one, like I said, this is this is really the the kind of knife that you see coming in Stag out of China that people pull out and say, "Look at how crappy this is." They're talking about a Stag knife, but it's made in China and it's junk. This does not compare to anything from Case. Yeah, but at the same time, when you look at this one, this says, "Hey, Case, step up your game." This thing just makes Case knives look like, yeah, they should be doing better. So that's really what it comes down to. Anyway, there's my Stag knives. Went over my cracked eyes. We looked at the knives by that I'll be giving away. Well, somewhere around here. The uh, the toothpick and the Camp King. Those are knives I'll be giving away eventually within the next month or so. These will probably be. I'll probably make the announcement on the giveaway inside one of my quick cuts, and I'll probably be using the quick cuts as some kind of giveaway also. So if you have been following my quick cuts, you might want to continue to do that. They're short. Actually, one of them's going to be almost 8 minutes long because I just got carried away. But in any case, these are the knives that I'll probably be giving away in a upcoming quick cut within the next month or so. Um, so stay tuned, looking for the quick cuts. And I don't know, what else do I want to talk about? Probably not much. I'm exhausted. Been working all day, and sounds like the party's finally breaking up upstairs, so I can finally go upstairs and like maybe use the bathroom or something. Um, but I do want to hear from you about my quick cuts, what you're thinking of them. Also, I'd like to hear about what you think about the slideshows that I've been doing with the end of the quick cuts, because I'm thinking of doing more of those slideshows at the end of other longer videos too, because I think it's a good way to show really good detail shots of the knives, so you can actually see um, the tang stamps. I can easily point out like a fault on the knife and show it more clearly in the slideshow, or also the really good looking features of the knife in the slideshow and stuff like that. So that's where I'm going with the quick cuts and other things. And also stick around. You're going to be seeing a lot more olive wood in the real near future. But as for now, I am losing my voice. The battery's going to die on my camera, and it sounds like the party broke up upstairs, and the cat is getting restless. So I think I'm going to let you guys go. Um, Thanks for joining me tonight, and I will talk to you again soon. Thank you.